he noticed something strange in the robot charging bay. There was a reflective patch directly in front of charging station 206. When he went over to inspect it, he saw a steel plate had been polished into a mirror. Could a robot really break human-made rules just to look at itself? As he was puzzling over it, a robot walked in to recharge. He checked the ID number on its chest. It was Repair Unit 206, but instead of charging, it turned around and left. He stood there for a few seconds before snapping into action and running after it. The repair unit was already heading into the tunnel. Right before it disappeared, it glanced back. They locked eyes for a moment, and then it quickened its pace. Jack followed it into the tunnel and saw smoke drifting from a door. The repair unit had welded the metal door shut before leaving. With no way through, Jack kept going, hoping to find where that door would have led. Soon he reached the exit. Beyond it lay the lawless civilian zone. Step across that line, and the company's protection ends. In a heap of trash, he found a dead vagrant. Then gunfire erupted. Jack tried to identify himself, but the sentries ignored him. Outside the city, everyone is treated as an enemy. He sprinted into an abandoned shipping container and bought himself a few seconds. To his shock, the same repair unit was hiding inside. It swiveled its mechanical head and stared at a box in its hand. Jack asked what was in it. The robot didn't answer. It knocked over a can of gasoline and fired up a welding torch. To keep the box's secret buried, it broke protocol and injured itself. Jack couldn't make sense of that. Humans had hardwired obedience into every robot, so how could it choose to disobey? The unit was hauled back to the lab. The engineers dismissed Jack's story out of hand. In their view, code simply doesn't fail. They pried open the charred box. Inside were sensor components and a nuclear power cell. The cell was extremely valuable, but useless to a standard robot. Install it, and the surge would burn the core out. They hooked the unit to a diagnostic circuit and forced the damaged core to reboot. It bought the repair unit a brief, borrowed lifespan. Jack pressed it about the cell's purpose, who had modified it, and why it had tried to burn itself with gasoline. But before it could answer, Unit 206 shorted out. Oil streamed from its eyes in two thin lines, and the core failed completely. Jack still wouldn't let it go. After work, he cornered an engineer and floated a theory. The robot laws had been altered. The engineer said that was technically impossible. The core code was quantum encrypted and written into a biomimetic kernel. The security architecture was a one-way channel. Any attempt to tamper with it would incinerate the core instantly. Even 1,000 years from now, humans wouldn't have the tools to rewrite it.